welcome to your AM Cafe, your everyday tonic. Thank you for joining us this morning, this chilly morning. And I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas in advance. Now this morning we are taking a look. My name is Osun, and we are taking a look at President Tinubu's budget for 2025, and at the same time we're taking a look at CBN confirms validity of old and new naira notes. And my guest is very, very much around. He's a political analyst, I can say he's a teacher, he's a lecturer, he's everything, and he's a comrade. And we have in the house comrade Olaitan asking you're welcome to this program this morning.
Good morning. Good morning of Nigeria. Good morning, Osun. Happy Xmas in advance.
Now, thank you very much for coming to the studio this morning. We are taking a look at President Bola Tinubu's budget for 2025. What can you say about that? Because the coordinating minister of finance says, says the budget for this year is 47.96 trillion naira. It was being projected, meaning that FEC approved 47.96 trillion naira projected expenditure for next year. What can you say about that?
Good morning once again. Go by definition or the meaning of budget. Individual, household, family, individual, like I said, we always project. Okay, this month my salary is 20,000 naira. I want to have a keeping of 5,000 naira. It is a financial statement. They propose where within a particular year, most especially within a year. What if the present government of the day deem it fit having approximately 48 trillion? But the problem we are having is in Africa is our expenditure does not correlate with the economic standard. Spending 48 trillion, I'm telling you, by this time next year, God forbid, let me say that, God forbid, the same noise, the same complaint, the same agitation can still be on ground. Having spent such a money, such with resources, but there's something we call strategic planning. If peradventure, the government of the day can sit down, look at the areas, if it is health, infrastructure, education, maybe let me just agriculture. If just 4 areas, sectors, a year, if I happen to be Mr. President, my first years I want to face agriculture. If peradventure he achieve it up to 50%, leave it like that. The previous or the coming government will now be building up on it. On education, the following year, go to that education, starting from the root, where we are getting it wrong. We starting correcting it. Within that a year, if peradventure will get it up to 50%, it shows that we are moving out of the mess. But the resources you are pushing, injecting to economy, does not correlate our development. And in economies, there's something called economic growth and economic development. In Nigeria, we have economic growth, but there's no economic development. Truly, things are coming. We have resources. The companies are coming. The resources are available, but there's not meaningful impact on the masses. The standard of living remains penury.
According to him, he said the estimate target of revenue is 24.82 trillion naira, leaving deficit of 13 trillion naira. Still, they will still have to borrow, because he said the minister said his deficit will be financed through borrowing. Why must we be borrowing all the time when we have targeted projects or targeted estimates for the year?
Well, let me challenge Caruso, the Apex Bank governor, and the Mr. President himself. Although Mr. President having people who are brilliant around him, but they lack native intelligence. And I must confess to you, all we need is native intelligence. That is why at times you see people, they are unfortunate to attend 4-wall classroom. You get it. having a formal education. But when it's come to do things in a sensible manner, in a sensible way in society, you see them performing excellently. It is time the CBN governor and the economic team of Mr. President sitting down, brainstorming in a dolphin manner. Dolphin manner in the sense that where you come face reality. In a situation whereby we now be saying we remove subsidy. Remove subsidy, we have excess. The money is in circulation. The governors of the states in each case Nigeria are getting huge allocations. But up to this moment, people are still suffering, feeling the pains of removing that subsidy without any sign of anywhere where they have been relieved. Let me use as an example. If you happen to be my mother, you decided, okay, you are not taking Bobo to school anymore. In assumption that I'm in primary school student. That's you are not taking Bobo to school anymore. The Bobo has become something cause and this. You must look for either chin-chin, which is subsidizing it, either chin-chin or sweet that is not costly up to that one you remove from me. It serves as a motivation. If government remove the subsidy, but up to this, what we are saying, up to this money, I don't know this afternoon, up to this money, the subsidy remover, there's no relief any other sectors in Nigeria, and the governors and the president of the country continue borrowing. Borrowing for what? If you are borrowing, what are you borrowing for? Let me use civil servant as a case study. An average of civil servant do getting loan, using salary as his collateral. But that's loan either using for sponsoring the children to school or building an house. Are you getting or establish a business where he or she is going to fall back? And it's something good is coming out. If it's by using it for having a house, you know that he or she is not going to rent in a house anymore. But in Nigeria's situation is getting worse. We continue borrowing since 1999. And funny enough, I'm one of agitators for democracy system of government in Nigeria. But up to this moment, I keep asking myself, is it not a shame that military people who have one way or the other governors, they will just be sitting there in their corner. For those who have died, they will just be smiling their grave that they are looking for Agbada people who will govern them. The government within themselves. But the simple definition of democracy is government by ourselves, is government by the people, for the people, and to the people. Now this is the government where we now saying within us, let's just pick somebody by election or by selection who is going to be the custodian of that resources. For those who are now the custodian of that resources, they are misusing it. So I'm challenging the CBN governor and the economic team. Why are you borrowing? Why? Tomorrow they cannot answer their question. In a situation whereby we have deficit, budget, why not cut our costs according to available resources? If it is by comfort, tell the team, I want to reduce the ministerial appointments. I want to reduce political appointees. By doing that, the governor each state will emulating it. Let me tell you this. We are spending resources of the masses lavishly in this country. Recently, the first lady came to Osun State. That was a day I saw the governors, don't let me mention, the governor in Southwest, going, I was in Ibadan. And I made sure that I packed and I was counting
the convoy
until I got to 62 and then it's okay like this. Full AC. Full AC. They wind up AC. I was like, this is how they spend our money. Lavishly. A reasonable leader will come down and say that. Let me feel the pain. It is time Mr. President should say that. Cut every other I don't want to put the expenditure. Other unnecessary spending. If at the end of the day now, they will tell us Mr. President is using 2 billion to eat. The governor of the state is using 300 million, 500 million to eat in a monthly basis. It is wrong. I did not eat before they get to that office. They are. So I'm challenging Cardoso and his team. See that Nigerians are sovereign beyond continued borrowing. You have borrowed for unborn generation. It is time we cut it. Thank you.
Okay. The minister, I will still go back to that question. That the minister is still saying that the investment will be in driving growth, creating jobs, and alleviating poverty. What are we alleviating? What jobs are we creating for people who has no job in the country?
Well, you see, Africa, I'm not saying Nigeria alone. It is embarrassing. At times when you look at the white people, they, apology to say this, they look at us as, are they human being like them? And at times I ask myself, truly, it is not because of biology. I went, at least a biology student in SS1 to SS3. It's only biology that's still convincing me that we have the same Obiagata. It's only biology. But genuinely within me, within myself, I know, are we human being like them truly? Isn't the system of keeping saying the same thing? You continue to do same things and you're expecting different results. You cannot. Since 1999, we are using the same platform. We are using the same approach. We are using the same strategy. We are using the same manner. Now we continue telling people, investors are coming.
No electricity.
Aside the electricity, let's keep the electricity one aside.
Okay.
We are saying investors are coming. And we open our eyes, investors are leaving. In a situation where we have 10 investors and 4 are leaving, and we are expecting some of them more to come, there will be a pre-degree. There will be a presidency. Whoever that's coming to invest will ask himself or herself or the company, the organization, why this particular company left that country. There must be a reason, a genuine reason. Truly, we have what it takes for investors to come in. But the question is this, are we ready? We are not. The employment we keep in saying, we will create 1 million employment, 10 million. No governor in this country that are serious. No government. The governor and the president of this country, they are not serious. We don't just keep in saying something just to say it on paper, daily basis, for people to take our hands and read something. That's what we are doing. When we are saying we want to empower youth, how much are we going to give them? We want to empower a graduate for that matter. And we empower them and give them 30,000 naira. Okay, let's give them minimum wages, 70,000 naira. And we want them to behave well.
Normally.
We want them to be a leader of the future. We want them to emulate the present leader in a good manner. How are they going to do that? It is time, like I said earlier on, if it is agriculture, not only president alone, because president cannot be in each state in Nigeria. The allocation has been going to the various governors in Nigeria. The resources are going to governors in Nigeria. It is time for them to see that, most especially agriculture. You see, I wanted to say this in Yoruba adage. They know what they are saying until you hear it. Now you're not saying I want to cover this place. Until you eat, you behave sensibly. Until you eat, you know this is wrong. When you are hungry, you forget your status. Are you getting it? It is time we see that all the resources we are borrowing, let us stop in it. And then I want to say this, IMF are not in our favor. They know what they are doing. The white people know what they are doing. They don't want to release that rope. They want to hold it. They know when they are continue giving us policy, when they are continue borrowing us the money, they will continue giving us the policy that will not allow us to grow. It is time for African leaders to see that. I was watching Mr. President yesterday on ECOWAS telling Nigeria the African leaders will emulate Ghana and this and that. I was laughing. It's not the election we are talking about. It's government, it's administrative system. Sincerely yours, you don't need to rig the election. If you have been a proactive leader, if you have been a responsible leader, that you do what is right at the right time. Let me use one of African leaders example. Nelson Mandela. South Africa's people were crying, telling him to go more. That we want you to do the second time. And you know what the man did? And one of his quotes, I said, it is time to leave the stage. The ovation is louder. I want to leave. Allow others to do it. Let me go alone. Look at that words. And today, there's no way in Africa they will not mention that my name. So it is time for Nigerian leaders sitting down. Don't tell us you want to do empowerment, you want to do employment. The investors are not coming, we know. Investors cannot come in a situation whereby the insecurities continue alarming. Are you getting it? Investor cannot come in a scenario like this. You don't need to beg investors. You don't need, not at all. The investor will, your achievement, your way of doing things will attract them to come. And Almighty God bless this country since early years. Just in your company, just put a maize, just throw it somewhere. You will see it growing, germinated and grow.
Yeah.
For you to know, for you to see how God blessing us. But today, wheat, we are expecting it for Ukraine. Or what is the Ukraine and what country they are fighting? Russia. The two countries, Ukraine, we are expecting Ukraine to send us wheat. Up to this 30 with something years now. We are still, even during the military era, they were able to do something meaningful. I doubt it if the rail they are built during the military era, if today they want to build in it, they'll be telling us they want to borrow the whole world money. And the infrastructure they are borrowing money for, there must be a feedback. There must be a reward. Where is that reward? Where is that investment? Where is that interest? Because for the government to inject a particular resources to somewhere, there must be something returned for the masses' benefit. For the masses' benefit. The road, the social amenities, the basic needs of life. Where is it in our society? Where is it? Where is it? And people keeping hungry. I don't want to say this, the epileptics of the electricities are going. Witness is here.
Seriously.
How do we now expect the investors to come? Macheni left Nigeria, went to Ghana. Just imagine. Just look at it. He left where the resources are available. And part of the what investors looking to in their feasibility study is availability of raw materials. We have what it takes here, and they deem it fit to live. It is question our leaders keeping to ask themselves, and there must be provided a solution to it.
Now let's come back to this. CBN confirms validity of old new naira notes.
What?
Don't you think this will bring inflation into the country by withdrawing 1,000 naira, 500 naira, and 200 naira?
That they want to withdraw it.
Yes, the CBN confirms that both the old and redesigned naira notes, 1,500, 200 naira denominations, remain legal tender indefinitely. They say indefinitely. But my question is, they were saying putting a rest to rumor of 31st December deadline. If at all they want to withdraw, because they were determining to withdraw this legal tender,
The old one.
the old one, don't you think this will bring inflation to the country?
Well, you see, my problem on this country is we don't really have the data and the information given to us. You can, when you identify it, when you bring the alternative solution, alternatives analysis to it, if you want to implement it, you evaluate it and you check the feedback or control. But in a situation whereby you don't have a real data, I'm telling you, till tomorrow, you will not withdraw anything. I will tell you reasons.
Why?
Nigerian leaders are do things politically. And when you are continuing doing things politically, the right thing you're supposed to do, you cannot do it. you now be thinking of, they will complain. Once they complain, it may against my party or my ambitions, and will not move. Their ambition is paramount to them than the masses. I appreciating them for allowing us to continue spending the legal tender, because some have lost their life based on that policy.
Yes.
I was here some months ago when we had discussed about the Mayfield policy. You see, policy is more or less a map, a mapping out, an outline, a strategy, a rules, a regulation put in place. And before you bring a policy, you must consider the key factors, those who is going to affect it directly. Are you getting it? Now, but withdrawing that particular linguism some years back, they don't consider the masses that's going to be affecting directly. It may feel it does, and funny enough, on my personal findings, I got to know they just want that remove that money because they want to reprint, and by doing the process, they know what they are going to get.
Selfish interest.
Are you getting it? Yeah. Now bring back this one to society. Allow us to continue spending it legally. Some have become millionaires because this particular legal tender we are talking about, it has been withdrawn some years ago, and every legal tender we are spending, the 60% or 70% go back to banking sector. If we could remember, they have withdrawn this particular legal tender we are talking about, and somewhere they didn't destroy it.
They didn't destroy it.
I'm telling you. If they do, where? When? How? So by saying it, some people have become millionaire, if not billionaire. But we are appreciating them for not putting masses to another problem. If Prefecture want to reprint in Nigeria, the policy is bound to review. It's not wrong. In America,
to review.
Yes, in America, at least $10 years, they check it, they review it, they repaint and withdraw. It may be the same page, same manner, same style, same. Are you getting? But they remove the rough one, they remove, they withdraw it, one after the other. Once you paid it to banking, you not push it out. You bring the new one out. Are you getting? That's why whenever you are going to the breed, you change the date of your dollar. At times, the date of your dollar determine the exchange rate. Are you getting? It's not bad we can do it here as well. It's not wrong to review it. Review it. Check the color. Is the color sweet to us? Is the size? Is it going with us? Is it okay? But you have to consider the masses. Those mama lata, mama eleru, mama. Are you getting it? If you are giving them the lighting one, and you do research, there's something called feasibility study of findings. You go to masses, you check. If you got to know that the squishing of that money, before you know it, people are complaining. Let me use 15 as a case study. 15 naira. 15 naira has become issue now through my findings. During this summertime, when you keep it on your table, you just be looking at it, day one, you started folding. But it's more or less like nylon. And when it is tear a little bit, those traders will not collect it. The corporate man will not collect it from you. So, like that money, they can review it. Can we use it in the paper? And it is Wasobia, Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. If we want to add more euros, it's not bad we review it. But before you review, you have to consider the key player, the key factor, the key people who are going to affect it directly.
Why can't they even reintroduce the coins? Because they were still using coins in the developed country.
Well, I'm not by the idea of using coin. The reason is this: in a developed nation, like you said, the attitude, the system is favoring. Let me just put it that way. The system is favoring in the sense that even when you buy a car from there, you see the coins in the car. You see the coins in the car. The system is favoring them. They are okay. Their economy let me tell you this. If Nigeria economy can be like America now, as we are talking now, we see people starting behave normally. The system will, people just change. Their brain will just recess immediately. When you have a standard economy scenario in the nation, all things will fall apart. All things will just be together. So the issue of coin, consider our mothers, our fathers who are unfortunate to attend the formal education, it will become issue to them. It will heavy. And they are traveling from one place to another. Up to this moment, do you know there are some people they don't collect transfer? They will tell you if you want to buy gari now, you have to come with cash. If you want to buy palm oil now, go to some market. You have to go there with cash. But in the situation whereby they now say coin, imagine if they produce coin in 1,000 naira, which is our highest denomination, 200,000 of coin will be heavy for people like that. Are you getting it? Yeah. Elite people may not hold in coin. They may just go on e-transaction. It's convenient for them. Up to this, as we are talking, there are some places in Nigeria they don't have network. Not only Nigeria, in Osun here, they don't have network. Talking of do e-transaction. So by giving them the coin, it will be heavy. But in an advanced nation, I park my car outside there. I can open my car door. Nothing will happen to it. So I can keep my coin anyway. Nothing will happen to it.
Thank you. Let's move to some people who doesn't understand what we're saying, probably in Yoruba language. A fẹ́ ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ohun tí president orílẹ̀-èdè sọ nípa ètò ìṣúná rẹ̀ fún ọdún tó ń bọ̀. Nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ níbẹ̀ tó jẹ́ kókó ni pé wọ́n ní 47.96 trillion naira ó ní àgbéjáde rẹ̀ ni ó ti ní lọ́kàn pé òkè iye tó máa ná ní ọdún tó ń bọ̀ ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ṣé iye tí wọ́n ná gan nìyẹn ni ṣé ò ní dá wàhálà lẹ̀ ṣé wọ́n tún ní yá owó torí nígbà tí mínísítà máa sọ ní àwọn ò tún yá owó kún ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ̀ a sì ní a fẹ́ ṣe ètò ìṣúná tí ó bá ìgbà báwo ni ìyẹn ó ṣe fẹ́ lọ.
Kí gbogbo ara lílẹ̀ kan sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ ní èdè fìtìfìtì àsìkò ti tó kí àwọn olórí wa pàápàá jùlọ ọ̀gá àgbà pátápátá fún ilé ìfowópamọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tó ga jùlọ mo pè níjà kó pe àwọn akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ tọ́jọ́ ń ṣe ètò ọ̀rọ̀ okòwò wa ètò ìṣúná àtọ̀rọ̀ ajé wa kán jọ forí korí. Yorùbá sọ pé ìgbára là á búra ẹnìkan ìbúsàngó nígbẹ̀rún. Nígbà tí èèyàn bá bímọ mẹ́rin ó ti mọ̀ pé ọmọ mẹ́rin ló bí, ó ti mọ̀ pé dédé oúnjẹ tí wọ́n jẹ ni, ó ti mọ̀ pé dédé omi tí wọ́n mu, a ti mọ dédé wa Nàìjíríà. Ọgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ tírílíọ̀nù tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ lò ní Yorùbá kí n sọ pé 52 kápájú ẹ̀ dé bá 52 a mọ̀ pé ẹ ti wálé fi yá 18 nínú rẹ̀. Intense ni pé owó tá ń pa lábẹ́lé kò tó wá ná. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ wa àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó ti làmìlaka owó tó ń pa lábẹ́lé náà o torí ó ti tójọ́ mẹ́ta tí mo gbọ́ pé ìlú Amẹ́ríkà, ìlú London àbí England àbí Spain àbí Ìtàló wípé wọ́n lọ yáwó mì kan. Àwọn náà wá kó àjọ yẹn lẹ̀, àwọn náà gbé àwọn àjọ tí ń yáyàn lówó lẹ̀. Àwọn tó gbé àjọ tí ń yáyàn lówó lẹ̀ ò yáwó mọ́. Ó yẹ káwa náà bira wa léèrè àwọn tí ń yá wa lówó ìkíná ń fẹ́ gan. Àwa náà sì ní àlùmọ́ọ́nì, a ní ohun kan àmúyẹ tó bá jẹ́ pé àmọ́ ya owó ẹja ṣe bí o ṣe tó ṣe ẹlẹ́wà àṣàpọ̀ náà ń pè ẹja ṣe bó o ṣe tó ṣe bó o ti mọ́ ẹ sí màmá mi ẹlẹ́wà àṣàpọ̀ a ti rí pé bá a ṣe mọ̀ ni ẹja wa lo nǹkan tá a ní déédéé wa ẹ mọ̀jà ná iná àpà mọ́tò tí àwọn gómìnà wa ń kórìn táwọn aṣíwájú wa ń kórìn ó ti pọ̀ jù ibi tó wo wa ń lọ nìyẹn ó ti pọ̀ jù ẹ lọ ìlú ìbò lọ́la ẹ lọ ìlú ìbò lọ́túnla ẹ jókòó lé fọdún kan kẹ́yìn náà ẹ jókòó lé ẹ jẹ́ wàá ìlú ìbò náà wàá bá yín ní táwọn sọ ni pé ẹ jẹ́ àwò dáadáa ẹ ń pa wá lára o tó bá ẹ ti ń yá owó tọmọ rú mi ó san ẹ wá sí nǹkan tọmọ rú mi ó bàálẹ̀ ní dáadáa torí pé ẹ dẹ̀ wá wọn tẹ́ ń wò lójoojúmọ́ àti ẹgbẹ́ yín àti ẹgbẹ́ ẹbí gbogbo ilẹ̀ dákọ̀ Awólọ́wọ̀ ìsàlùjẹ̀nu o kò kí ń ṣe àlùjẹ̀nu o mo dẹ̀ dárúkọ ọ̀kan nínú àwọn ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ tó ṣe dáadáa lẹ́sìn Mandela ló kọ rẹ̀ kódà nígbà tí òun tiẹ̀ parí ìjọba alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ àwọn aráàlú sunkún níjọ́ tí ó parí báyìí èèyàn 10 ló kú níjọ́ náà wọ́n sunkún dẹ́dẹ̀ kú pé àní ọmọ ṣe lọ tó o bá ti sọ àbọ̀ gbẹ̀mí lẹ́nu ara wọn ó dẹ̀ gbẹ̀mí lẹ́nu ara wọn ẹnìkan nu Awólọ́wọ̀ tẹ̀ ń pariwo kò tí ì ṣe pọ́ngbà náà gan kòkó rọ́bà obì ẹ̀pà a ti fi ṣe àwọn nǹkan mèremère yẹn ó sì wà dòní o ẹ̀yin ò sí nǹkan mèremère táwọn ọmọ ó bàbá gbèsè lẹ́fílẹ̀ ẹja wo ojú sùnù kòkó kínní o tó bá jẹ́ pé 10,000 láàánú ẹjọ́ jẹ́ pé owó tá a pa lábẹ́lé tó bá tiẹ̀ wá káràǹgídá ẹja fìbí panú àwọn sẹ́nítọ̀ wa àwọn amòfin wa àtìlé àgbà àtìlé kékeré àsìkò ti tó kó bá jẹ́ torí wa lẹ fi wà ń bẹ̀ tíjọba bá ń ti owó sí yín ẹ sọ fún wa pé torí mẹ̀kúnnù lẹ fi wà ń bẹ̀ torí ìpele 3 níjọba wà 3 náà pín sí àwọn aṣòfin àwọn ni ó yanjú èrò executive àti àwọn judiciary executive ní ná owó ó ti wá máa méjèèjì lọ́rẹ̀ kó yẹ káyọ̀ méjèèjì jẹ́ ẹjọ́ rẹ̀ ibi tá ti ní sọ̀rọ̀ ni ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ṣòfin àtẹ̀yin agbófinró àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń tòwé òfin ẹ má bá àwọn tí ó máa ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ má bá wọn ṣọ̀rẹ́ ẹjọ́ jìnnà síra yín ẹ má ṣọ̀rẹ́ kẹ́ńpamẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ yín pa wá lára tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ṣọ̀rẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù ọ̀rọ̀ náà lọ ṣẹ́dẹ̀ rí Ọlọ́run kẹwàá lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí o mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan tẹ́ ẹ bá ju àgbàdo síta lé iṣẹ́ yìí yóò wù ẹ wo nǹkan tó bá jẹ́ pé lọ́dún 4 tíjọba yìí ó lò ìjọba àti lọ́dún kan ọdún 2 tí ń kẹnu bodò tó bá jẹ́ pé ọrọ̀ ajé lẹ́ẹ̀mú lọ́dún kan ọrọ̀ àgíríkì ọrọ̀ nǹkan ọ̀gbìn tó bá jẹ́ pé lẹ́ẹ̀mú lọ́dún kan ẹ mú kẹ́rí pé ẹ bá débì kan tó lápẹ̀rẹ̀ tó bá dọdún tó tẹ̀lé tó bá jẹ́ pé ọrọ̀ ètò ẹ̀ẹ́tì ètò ìlera ẹ mú débi pé tí mẹ̀kúnnù tó bá fẹ́ bímọ báyìí kó sì wọlé ilé iṣẹ́ ìjọba kó sì ṣe lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ fún tó bá jẹ́ pé sáàbẹ̀ ni tó bá jẹ́ pé sáàbẹ̀ kó sì ṣe lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ fún ẹ tó ní kùnú tó ní pàkì tó ní pàpọ̀n kó sì wọlé kó má mọ̀ yẹn kankan kó sì lọ ilé iṣẹ́ ìjọba orúkọ mi ní báyìí ká ní ó fowó kọ́lẹ̀ mọ̀ bọ́njọ́ kẹta kó sì ṣe fún ẹ rí i pé mẹ̀kúnnù náà gbogbo àlọ́njú bọ́ọ̀mù síbì kan tí ọrọ̀ ajé bá ṣe dáadáa lójú ẹsẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn náà sì mọ̀ wá dáadáa mo máa ń bíra mi léèrè pé ṣé èèyàn ni wá lóòótọ́ torí àwọn èèyàn funfun wọn àgbà pé èèyàn ni wá bọ̀ torí pé ètò ìmọ̀tòmọ́sẹ́ pé life study ní Yorùbá biology báwo sí life logic study olóje kan mọ̀ pé àyàtọ̀ pé ọpọlọ tó lọ́ọ̀ ń da funfun náà ni onìkan ní sì ń dá mi níta mọ́ èmi gan wò pé ṣé èèyàn ni á lóòótọ́ torí èèyàn sì ń wà kó o sì máa darí àwọn èèyàn kó sì máa ń nítumọ̀ sí ẹ bí ti di ọdún 4 ẹ ti wá pé wá sórí ìta ẹ ti ní a máa ká tó lẹ́yìn ara wọn òun ó pa wá ojú ó pa wá àárín wa láti mú yín náà àárín wa láti yọ yín pé ẹ lọ sí olórí wa ẹ bá mójútó ń tọ́lọ̀ ń bọ̀ wá ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ wá rántí pé ẹ̀jẹ̀sẹ̀ fọlọ́ ọjọ́ kan mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ ó dẹ̀ kó wà ní Bíbélì àti Kùránì pé dandan bọ́ kò ní sójú wa tí ń yà mí lẹ́nu ni ká ní yóò sójú wa náà àbádìbọ́lọ́ ó sì fìyà jẹ.
Thank you very much, Comrade Olaitan Asimiyu, for this beautiful explanation on budget 2025 revenue expenditure borrowings that Minister for Finances, Mr. Olawale Edo. Thank you very much for this explanation. And on CBN confirms validity of old Naira notes. We sincerely thank you for coming to this studio this morning. And this is where we are going to draw the curtains on today's edition of AM Cafe. Join us tomorrow for another interesting package. My name is Ulushola Egbodo, for not forgetting the producer for this program and the production advisor. Thank you very much.